Hello there everyone. Today is Blender's 25th birthday, so we thought today would make a good day to start a brand new tutorial on how to use Blender. So, basically, to start a new Blender file, use Control-N, and it'll set you up with the default position. If you press 0 on your number pad, or numpad for short, you will enter the camera view. If you press Shift F, you can move the camera around by moving your mouse using WASD. Then use Shift to go faster, and use your mouse wheel to increase speed, and mouse down. You can roll your wheel up to increase speed, and roll your wheel down to decrease speed. You can left click to apply your changes, or you can right click to reset your position. You can also use Shift F to move around in your little workspace anytime. It doesn't just have to be with the camera. You can press Alt Z to go into textured view, Z to go into wireframe view, Shift Z to go into render view. Today we're going to talk about getting good lighting. First off, you want to press N on your keyboard, and it'll open up this area over here. I'm going to go down to shading, open it up, click multi-texture, and click GLSL. This way, the lighting is more accurate in the preview. You want to take your starter point and go over here to your inspector. Go to the light section. This is where you can change the light. There are different types of light. There's point light, which just radiates light from a point. There's the sun, which has additional features like sky or atmosphere, and works like a sun would. This line is the direction that it is going to cast sunlight to. Spot is like a spotlight, and the circle is wherever the spotlight is going to shine. You can put the light anywhere, and you can increase the blur using this blend section. There's the Hemi light, which casts light everywhere, but more light in a certain direction, which is where the line is pointing. Then there's area light, which casts light over an entire area, but incredible amounts. I do not recommend using it. Okay, so we're going to start off with the sun. You can move it around using G. You can move it along the x-axis, the red line, the y-axis, the green line, and the z-axis. There isn't a line for that, but it's up and down. Left, right, forward, backwards, up and down. We're just going to keep it where it is right now, and we're going to enable sky and atmosphere. You don't need to enable sky, but you should enable atmosphere, because it adds, well, an atmosphere. It makes the lighting look better. Now you don't want permanent shadows, so you want to duplicate it with Shift D and enable a Hemi. The Hemi is too bright, so if you go over here and modify the energy, you can modify how much light is casted. Put on either 0.5 or 0.35. I would go with 0.35. So if we enable sky, this is what we get. Let's add a plane, a ground for our cube. If we press Shift A and go to mesh, we can click plane. If we press S, we can scale it up on the Z-axis, the Y-axis, or the X-axis. So press S and then click 8. So now we have our ground. If you press 5 on your number pad or your numpad, and then press 3, you get a side view in orthographic mode, which means pretty much everything is flat. press G, Z, and then hold Control to snap it into place. Put it on the green line, the Y line. Now it should be on the floor. Next we're going to put it in the air, G, Z. Just move it up a bit. Now press R to rotate it. If you tap R twice, you can rotate it just by moving the mouse. Go and rotate on the Z-axis, the X-axis, or the Y-axis, which is what we're going to do. Just rotate it like this. So now our cube's in the air. We're going to make it fall to the ground. But if we press Alt-A to start the animation, or just press the arrow, it's not falling. We want it to animate and fall. So if we go over to our inspector again, and roll our mouse wheel down, we can scroll over to our physics tab and make this a rigid body. So it falls, but it falls straight through. So we need to make this a rigid body too. Now both of these are going to fall. But once one collides with it, it's going to stop. Problem is it falls, so this tab right here, dynamic, makes it either dynamic, so it applies to the laws of physics and falls, or doesn't, so it stays. So if we uncheck dynamic, it's not going to fall, but it will have a collision with this. Another way you can do this is enable collision, which gives it collision bounds. Enable collision on here, but it doesn't work. So if it falls through, all you have to do is undynamic rigid body. So now you see we can have this cube when it falls. The only problem is right here it's kind of hard to tell them apart, and there's no color. So if you want to add color, go to your inspector and click this. This is the material section. Here you can modify the color by clicking new material, if there isn't a material already. We're just going to go back to the default material. Click here and modify it on your color wheel. Down here, down below it, you can modify the settings yourself. R is red, G is green, and B is blue. All of them at the same value makes a white. So if you have all of them at 0.326, it's going to make a dark white, aka a gray. Let's make it tinted a little pink. Yeah, like that. So now we have our cube. It falls. Now let's give the ground a texture too. So I got your material. Now go down here and click mirror. Put it on 0.25. Now it's going to mirror the cube. Also do this to the cube if you want to. Now the cube is shiny. If you go to the cube, go over to this bar. If it doesn't appear, press T and go to shading. This is where you can change between smooth or flat shading. A better example would be on like an icosphere. You got, this is flat shading. It's always flat by default, but then you can smooth it. Flat, smooth. Also, just for size, you don't have to, for any modifications, you don't need to press Z, X, or Y. You can just use it in general to modify it. But yeah. Now we have our cube, and it falls to the ground. Now, that's nice and all, but how are we going to make it render? Sure, we can go into render view, but that's not going to save it. well, you want to go over to the camera section, and you want to go down here where it says output. You want to go somewhere, renders, tutorials, or wherever you're saving the things. Now click this, go to AVI JPEG. That'll render it as a video. If you want higher quality, you can increase this from 50% to 100%, but it will take longer to render. So I'm going to keep it at 50%, just for the sake of this tutorial. So then, you can go over here and click Animation. It's going to render. It will render at different speeds depending on your computer. And you can see it's rendering each frame. The cube is following. It's followed. It's settling. And it's done. So now you can find that wherever you saved it. And yeah, so I'll play the video right now. Okay. And in the next video we'll be covering fluid animations. Something like this. Where if we bake it right now, we'll have fluid and it'll fall. It'll look nice. It's gonna bounce around. So yeah, we'll be covering that in the next video on how to make lighting for it and yada yada yada. So yeah, stay tuned.